J-E-W-E-L, but J-O-U-L-E, because Joule is a green, what is it,
Joule is a unit used to measure energy.
energy, that's right, chemistry physics term. So we'll spin so in that program, freshman students come in, work with a research teacher by the name of Ms. Watch. She explains to the children the process of research, how to conduct research from the very beginning with having a topic to developing a full-fledged project, matching them up with mentors across the street, either at York, Queens College, or they can e-mentor with professors at different institutions. And the main scope of that program is to get kids into competitions such as the Science and Engineering Fair, the idea is to build your portfolio so that you can get into Columbia, like Serene, as a former alumni, or to
Ashley's full scholarship, Macaulay. Everyone, run your tutors. Round of applause, guys. Ashley, full scholarship.
Lab right here. It's a little dark in here, but you can peek through the window. But yeah, like they have the gas, like basically every utility that a normal lab does, except for a fume hood. And oh no, actually, I think they have fume hoods in the back now. So they basically have everything that a normal lab. There is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have everything basically that any normal lab that you would see in a college environment does. They have a gas source, so you can use like a Bunsen burner, which is just like a flame to heat any reactions that you need. A fume hood. So if like you're doing a reaction where you produce a poisonous gas, you do it under the fume hood, so the fume hood like captures all the gas, so it's not lethal to you. And yeah, they have just about everything in terms of outlet sources and everything like that. In high school, they don't let you do anything like that, but in college, it's more. But yeah, definitely just like the amount of labs that we have here is something that you don't see in another school, in any other schools.
How many labs are there?
There's, I guess,
The
1,
one
2,
here, I
3,
know one down there.
4.
There are 4 labs, and there are 100 kids per grade.
Yeah.
So everyone here has access to doing the research and the lab work. Cool. Let's
Fully
see.
prepared in terms of what material they're going to be learning for each day. I think there's still a big focus, and there was a big focus when I was in school on a do now, which is just like a focusing topic that you would talk about throughout the course of that particular class, or that particular session of the class. And
Did you feel that your teacher's intelligence here was on par to some of your Columbia professors?
yeah, of course.
You hear that,
Like,
right?
You don't find very often. I guess we can talk a
Come
little bit
outside. Yeah, I want to hear the intelligence levels of teachers. We want to hear that. We want to know. Did you feel these teachers knew their stuff when they were
Yeah.
teaching you the material?
So, there's like a few teachers that I guess we can just talk about percentage-wise. You guys might not know too much about this, but there's like multiple degrees that are just that you can have throughout your education. And there's different tiers to those degrees. So the first degree that you can get is a bachelor's degree. Well, there's an associate's, but we're not going to talk about that. But then a bachelor's degree, which is just like the first degree that you can get. You go through undergrad. Generally takes about 4 years. But yeah, and then there's more advanced degrees, which are master's degrees and PhDs. And like there's a bunch of teachers here that are PhDs, like Dr. Rabel, who wrote one of my recommendations for college. There's Dr. Blickstein.
It's been a few years.
Yeah, Dr. Bernstein. Yeah, there's a bunch of PhDs in the school. So just having access to teachers that have advanced degrees is something that you don't generally see because advanced
So your
degrees are
high school
necessary. Yeah.
teachers here have PhDs, doctorates in the subject they taught. So who wrote your recommendation letters for Columbia?
I got recommendations from the chemistry teacher, the biology teacher, and the physics teacher. Physics teacher is Dr. Rabel, chemistry teacher is Dr. Bernstein, and biology teacher is Mr. Seltzer, who doesn't have an advanced degree, but is one of my favorite teachers here. So, yeah.
That's amazing. You're not usually exposed to PhDs as much on a high school level. This is very impressive credentials.
It's just another avenue of gaining just knowledge about those different types of things. And that's like a general theme that you'll see in the schools, that there's a lot of exposure to just higher level academics in terms of the research, in terms of the research libraries that, or like the college library that they have. Like going into college, I was pretty familiar with going on to like different sources for journal articles, which are like EBSCO and JSTOR, things like that.
Who's
Things
ever
that-
heard of that? No one.
There are a lot of college kids who have also never heard
Yeah.
of that. So going into college, knowing what that is a really, really big step forward.
Yeah, and definitely helps you write research papers, which is generally what you do. You have to cite them, and yeah, you learn all of those skills here, which is, again, just another upper leg that you have on other students that are coming into the same colleges. And yeah, just another level of preparedness.
So, were you ever afraid of taking a class here?
No, not by any means.
Did you know physics before you took it?
No, but like, there's a little bit of agency that you don't have in that, like, physics is the next thing that you have to take after chemistry. So you knew you were gonna take it, didn't know anything about physics, but they line it up in a way so that it's logical, because there's so many overlaps between chemistry and physics when you have the introductory level of that.
And you've laid the foundation out.
Yeah, and that's...
This is a very organized school, so I just want to make sure everyone's paying attention. As you know, I have the fortune and misfortune of meeting kids from all over, from different schools. And can you just quickly go over what what's the sequence of sciences from 9th to 12th grade here, typical student, or your sequence of sciences?
Yeah, my sequence was biology, chemistry, physics, or biology in 9th grade, chemistry in 10th grade, physics in 11th grade, along with AP chemistry, and then AP physics in 12th grade.
Good, does everyone understands, right? This is a very organized school. What was the math sequence that you took here, starting from 9th grade?
So I took Algebra 1 in 8th grade, so I started off taking geometry in 9th grade, trigonometry in 10th grade, and then pre-calculus in 11th grade, and then BC calculus in 12th grade. And the BC calculus exam is another AP exam, which I got a 5 in, so...
Did you feel well prepared for the APs here?
More than prepared. Like...
Because APs are national level testing, so you did feel that the course is here.
I believe even international.
Oh, okay. Cool. Wow, that's really impressive. About how many kids were in your AP calculus class?
20? 25, yeah.
And your physics AP, what about your AP sciences class? So it's about 25. Okay, great, let's keep going. Here, they want the kids to do well. They're offering you the supplements. They have practice exams. Most schools will only give you the textbook. Here, I'm walking in, I already see the supplements, all right? Cream.
So just a little bit about the lab that I was mentioning before. Again, general layout of each classroom is that you have a smart board. You have the capacity for, I guess, about 30 students.
Say it, Chris, louder.
Yeah, so general idea behind each of the classrooms that you have in the school is that you have a smart board, either a mobile smart board or one that's adhered to the wall. In this case, we see a mobile smart board, and you have the capacity for about 30, 35 students, but generally it never reaches that capacity. And just because we're in a laboratory setting, you can see like the general things that you see in any type of college-ready laboratory. So you have a gas line, you have like access to cold water, and you have the fume hood that's in the back left.
You guys,
Notice how there's like a glass pane that you can see through. So essentially what you would do is like you bring the glass pane down to the point where you can reach your hands in, but not past that. So it's not getting any of the gases that are excreted from the reaction you're running are not entering your airway. They're just being sucked away by the fume hood, but you're still allowed to work with it. And yeah, obviously you'd be wearing gloves and the proper safety, just materials.
We have microscopes.
And yeah, we have microscopes.
High-tech microscopes. Very
what were some things that you did when you were in the lab? Do you remember anything? I know it's
I
from a
remember
long time
something really
ago.
cool in forensics. We got to analyze our own strands of hair with the microscopes. It was really cool.
What else have you done? What did you do in the lab? So you guys sit in this little, in like certain.
Yeah, so you have stations and you have like partners. So you're never like doing an experiment alone.
Yeah. The reactions that you run, for example, in like a chemistry laboratory, are relatively rudimentary. So they're like a simple saponification, or a simple addition reaction, or decomposition, a gas evolution reaction. Just very, very simple things. Maybe you guys don't know what I'm talking about, but that's okay. Like, trust me, they're like very simple. You put two things together, something happens. But it gives you kind of that introduction into chemistry. In the physics laboratory, you're doing more physical stuff. You're doing like projectile motion. So, for example, you have a marble. You'll put the marble on a ramp, and based on measure the distance that it goes, and cross-reference that with the distance that it's supposed to go based on the values of gravity that we have, things like that. And yeah, all like very, very simple concepts in physics, but putting the learning that you get, or very, very simple concepts in chemistry and physics, putting the learning that you get in the classroom along with the learning that you get in the lab, like those two things added together give you a very nice basis for just like science altogether. And yeah, definitely something that, again, you don't see in many other schools. And just something
You
that we
don't
have the
see
capacity
this
to do.
type of environment in a 5,000 student school, and I can compare. This is beautiful. It's a small group to do lab research. It's amazing.
You could just think of lab percent. In a lot of classes, do you primarily work with other students, or is there a lot of
I think every lab requires a partner.
no, I mean, just in general?
Oh, in general classes? Depends on the class. If it's like a humanities class, it's usually independent work. So like if it's like history or like English, that's mostly independent unless they want like a group project. For math, it's pretty independent. The most of the time that you're with a group is like when you're doing research in the science laboratory.
Anything else?
Anything else about the beautiful laboratory?
No, we want to see more. Let's go. Wait, I want to see the notes.
Like 6 pages of notes.
Oh my god.
I met a lot of kids in college who were just really upset that like, wow, like I had to stay up all night last night like writing a paper. And I was just like, well, that's something that I'm used to, you know, like that's something that you get used to here. You get used to the work ethic and the workload.
So the adjustment from middle school to high school was hard.
A little bit, but going from high school to college was really, really simple, in my opinion. I don't know.
I mean, it's a little bit different for me. In terms of the academics, by all means, like, it was just a simple transition because I was prepared for all the classes I'd taken. Like, in the freshman year of engineering, you take all your elementary stuff, so you take all your calculus, your chemistry, your physics, and then a few elective courses. But
I guess the only thing that's different is the environment, because this is really tiny.
Yeah.
Then when you go to college, it's, you know, little fish in a big pond.
yeah, exactly. So it was a change in social environments because you have like Columbia, which is 6,000 undergrads.
And then, not to, brag, but who dragged you to Columbia when you were a high school senior? Who forced you to visit the school? I want to share a
first
story.
time.
Everyone pay attention to this. Come close, come close. Everyone pay attention to this little story. A tale of old times. Kareem, who dragged you to Columbia? Who forced you to go see Columbia?
Yeah, the first time I visited Columbia's campus, I was on a trip with Kweller Prep.
Yes, because I needed people for my photos and videos. And back then, I had very small groups and turnouts, and I said, you gotta go. And he said, I have so much homework, I have so much work to do, I don't wanna go. And he went. And what did that experience, how did that change the direction? Well, I already know the answer. How did that change the direction of your life?
I mean, it definitely opened my eyes a little bit more to just like a college environment. I don't think I'd ever been like on a college campus and seen that type of lifestyle before. And Columbia's campus is definitely a beautiful one.
So that one college tour
changed my life.
changed his life. Do you hear that? It's that one college tour. You know how it changed my life? He couldn't work for me anymore for the next 2 months. He said, I am gonna buckle down and I gotta crank out. He not only applied to Columbia, but by what method did you apply?
Early December.
He decided after that tour that is the one school for him. And he applied early decision to Columbia University. And he was accepted 4 weeks later. So round of applause, Kareem. And I think sometimes I don't give Ashley enough credit because I focus a lot and I talk about Kareem because I remember distinctly dragging him to that tour. And I remember how amazing it is that it changed so much of, who knows, you know, you might have been at NYU. Anyway, but with Ashley, you're going on a full academic scholarship to Macaulay, and you get a stipend, right? You get a travel stipend. What are all the benefits of this Macaulay college that you're in?
So you get $7,500 to use throughout the 4 years for anything academic. So like I used a portion of it for study abroad. You can use it to reimburse you if you're doing an unpaid internship. You can use it if you want to take professional development classes or like classes that help you get into graduate school. You can use it for anything academic, really. You get a free MacBook Pro. You get priority registration, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in college that means like everything, because when you register for a class, like basically the way you register for a class goes in order of credits. So when you're a freshman, you register last. However, when you get priority, you register first, even before the seniors. And that's really important for getting the classes that you want, because some classes are offered like once every 2 years. And if you don't get it, then you have to wait 2 years.
That's so cool. And I do want to say that Ashley was, I told Kareem I need a tutor, and Ashley had no prior experience, and I said, I have kids, we have a job, we're going to make it work. And I am so happy to tell you, how many years have you been here?
I've been working at Kweller Prep for 4 years, going into 5.
Fifth year. This will be her 5th year. Ashley, thank you so much. And the kids, how much do we love her? Yes, we love having Ashley. And you've just been the kindest, warmest person during this extraordinarily stressful time period of testing and test preparation. I really just want to say thank you. I don't think I do it enough. I think it's more criticisms and what I'm hearing, and I really want a video and say I appreciate you, and I want to say thank you for these wonderful years that I've had before and after you've switching offices and spaces and building, and I just want to say thank you. You have been a solid force at Kweller Prep, and you've just been both of you have been such incredible role models. Aren't they amazing? They're academically amazing, and as people they're amazing, and they're just kind, and they're volunteering right now. They are just here of their own free will. They have a full packed schedule at school. Kareem traveled how long to come to York today? You live at the Columbia campus, right? I mean, this is a trip, right? How long did you travel to get here?
25 minutes.
This is a trip just to be here to show you their high school. So again, I want to give you a round of applause. Thank you so much for doing this. And thank you to the parents for trusting us with your kids. I haven't lost any of them. And for this wonderful time in your life, thank you for us being a part of it, okay?